Today I fucked up by telling my aunt her BF cheated. This happened a couple days ago, and all I wish was I'd done it sooner. The story starts at my parents' wedding, cracking night etc. But the following morning I comfort my sister crying. She ends up telling me my aunt's BF slept with our god sister at the wedding night. My immediate response is, well, gotta tell her, it's what I'd want if it was me. I go talk about it with my parents who know, and dad says it's not his business, he's a very to himself type of guy, don't want to get involved. But I plead with my mother saying it's her sister, it should come from her. She tells me not to, and if I do I'll disown you and never talk to you in my life. We then found out she was pregnant with his kid, another nail in telling her coffin. So I keep my mouth shut. This is my first fuck up, as I myself am very unconcerned about what others think, as long as I believe truly, I'm doing the right thing. I vent about it to my so and explain what my mum said etc. She understand but still think I should find a way to tell my aunt without it being pinned on me. I thought about it to many a night. Cutting to the chase, 7 to 8 months go by and still no one has said a thing. He prances around like he owns the place, and my god sister believes she's got away with it. We had a small family barbecue to celebrate birthdays, well within the social distancing rules in the UK. All going fine until I overhear Cheat saying something on the phone. Yeah, I'll see you later, stop calling me until I call you on phone with G's. Something in me snapped and I asked if my aunt wanted to go shop with me. As we are walking she could tell something was wrong. She kept pressing me to say, I told her it would ruin her life. So I did. I told her, knowing how she would react, knowing it'll be me to get the blame for any fallout and me taking the brunt of hatred from everyone. But I did, and do believe it was the right thing to do. And the fallout was crazy. She confronted him, he came at me, throwing me against a car, smashing a vase on my leg 3 stitches first time ever, threatening my family, my mum not talking to me, just, hell let loose. Fear of what my aunt would do if left alone. As much as I regret not saying anything sooner. This is my first post here, probably won't be my last. Thank you. Too long didn't read. Told my aunt her BF was cheating on her after months of knowing, hell broke, needed stitches. Edit. Firstly, godsister is the term we used for her to describe her. It's because she's my godmother's daughter, that's just the shortcut to it, not a cult or such. Apologies for confusion. It adds to the insult towards my aunt as she was basically like a sister to me, and a niece to her too. Secondly, I'm male 5 feet 8 inches while this guy was near on 7 and built like a brick shit house. Not going to take a fight I know I'll lose, especially with cameras on me. Thirdly, in terms of legal actions, I know I have some evidence injury, CCTV footage off of the neighbors etc. But my first thought is making sure my aunt and cousins are okay. Fourth, my aunt has since had the baby. I wasn't too sure how far along she was when I was told she was pregnant, believe end of first trimester. To all saying it doesn't belong her etc., I hear you, but at the time of writing, I felt as if I had fucked up. With the treatment I got, I felt this was the appropriate place for it. I'll get back with an update on this thread when I know what's what. Thank you all for your concerns, opinions and the awards. Even though some of your thoughts go against my actions, I still respect you for voicing them. Love to all. And the fallout was crazy. She confronted him, he came at me, throwing me against a car, smashing a vase on my leg 3 stitches first time ever, threatening my family, my mum not talking to me, just, hell let loose. Fear of what my aunt would do if left alone. Called the police, right? He's going to jail. Throws up against a car and injures them when confronted with consequences of his actions. Quite a possibility there that the guy is not the calmest of fellows when he's having an argument with ops aunt either. Fuck protecting cheaters. Good on you for doing the right thing and fuck everyone who told you not to say anything. Yo, fuck your mom lol. What kind of parent says that to their own child? Honestly, you did the right thing. It's insane that no one tried to talk to her about it. I know. I'll always hold a little resentment for what my mum said to me. Without that I would have told her as soon as I knew, but it's my own fault for listening to it. Your only fuck up was waiting as long as you did. Fuck cheaters. You did the right thing. I know. Honestly had so many nights with her number up, or days where I could get a different SIM and just text her it. Kicking myself for it. Today I fucked up by texting my son in the middle of the night. So we were leaving on a trip a few months ago. I work night shift. We were leaving as soon as I got home. I'd get home around 6 AM and then sleep in the car while my wife drives. This saves us a bunch of time. I remembered something I forgot to tell my 13-year-old son. He's the oldest of 4. So I text him, not even realizing that it's like 1 in the morning. Didn't think anything of it, but I get a call about an hour later from my wife. She's laughing so hard she can hardly tell me what happened. My son got the text but was so sleepy he didn't even think about what the noise was. He assumed it was his alarm and got up to get ready. Well, he wakes the other 3 and tells them it's time to go. So he showers and gets ready. They all get up, get dressed and get their luggage ready. He goes to get my wife and doesn't know why she's still in bed. She's always the first up. Then he looks at the clock and it's like 2 AM. Then he sees my text and realizes it wasn't his alarm. I guess I'm lucky he's so responsible. Too long didn't read, was leaving on a trip early. I worked the night shift and texted my son in the middle of the night. He woke everyone up and made them get ready cause he thought the text notification was his alarm. Your son is so sweet. He's the best. He's the oldest, so sometimes we require a lot of him. We need more wholesome stories. Yay, I've been reading a lot of incest shit on here lately. This is the sweetest thing I've read in a long time. You're definitely raising your kids well. This is one of the sweetest things I've read a day. Sounds like you and your wife are doing a great job raising your kids. Thanks so much. We work hard at it, but our kids are amazing. Your kids get themselves ready? The amount of money I'd pay for my 14 and 11-year boys to take showers and put on deodorant unprompted. Props, dude. Sounds like you need to sit them down on responsibilities. It's a lot like the sex talk but with a more mundane subject. Won't get done in a day but with persistence, that ability will be theirs too someday. Today I fucked up by barging into the bathroom to find my cousin fully nude while holding my boner. This happened yesterday and also English is not my first language, so apologize if there are any grammatical error. Info I, 21M, and my cousin, 24F. I know this is the most cliche story but whatever, I just wanna share. I was staying with my aunt for a week as a mini break because my class has already ended and I just need to finish a final project for my grade. Me being horny AF because of exams and such these past months haven't had the time to properly relax and relive myself, which leads to rock hard morning wood every morning. That day I woke up but haven't fully regained my consciousness, so I was still half asleep. I had a huge urge to pee and I said to myself, fuck, better take care of this or I'm gonna have self-induced golden shower. I got out of bed and hurried to the bathroom. When I was really near the bathroom I had this bright idea to pull my pants waistband down and let it spring into action, for efficiency's sake, so I could go back to sleep ASAP. I barged right in and there she was, my cousin, fully naked, both hands on her hair and me boner in hand. She was surprised as she has that deer in headlight looks on her, and so did I. Now this is where I fucked up. We both froze, and we just looked at each other, scanning each other. As I was still half asleep I thought to myself, fuck, she is hot, until I snapped back to reality and realized it is her that all this time I was looking at. I pulled my pants up and immediately closed the door all in one smooth move as I said sorry multiple times. I ran back to my room in panic as I try to compose myself. When I'm back to my senses I forgot that I had to pee, so I used the other bathroom. The bathroom that this incident happened was closer, so I used that one, and went back to my room. I'm fucked and I'm just glad that we both just froze and she didn't scream or something, as it might have caused a scene. A bit of background: my family is conservative, and this is especially true for my aunt families and my cousin in particular. And I never thought of her other than a cousin. She is just a very kind, wholesome and fun person, so we hang out a lot. And now I don't think I could look her in the eye. Fuck, I feel so guilty. This kind of thing has never happened to me before. I mean, I have barged into my mom and my distant cousin in the past, but it was nothing in my opinion, as I always immediately apologize and close the door. The thing is, I could remember that incident with her crystal clear, like like every detail. God, I'm so fucked. I haven't met her since, but my aunt has planned dinner for all of us tomorrow, so it's only a matter of time. Edit 1. Both bathrooms have locks on them and I have checked the one where it happened that it was functioning properly. Edit 2. Words and formatting. Too long, didn't read. Hurried to the bathroom half asleep, boner in hand, to find my cousin fully nude, and we scanned each other like Xerox as her nude is imprinted in my consciousness. Mini update. So this morning she went to the room I am using to let me know that breakfast is ready, which to my head feels unusual. I went to the kitchen area get my food and sat with her in living room watching TV. As I ate, I noticed something is different with her. She wasn't upset or anything, but her vibe has changed. Don't know how to describe it, TBH. We chatted a bit and I tried to come up with as many random topic as possible because I didn't want her to discuss what happened, as my aunt is still in the kitchen area, which is right next to the living room, so she could hear everything. Finished my meal ASAP and excused myself back to my room. Throughout the day up to this point as I'm writing this, she seems to kinda noticed me whenever I'm around. I don't know whether it was real or it was just in my mind. I haven't had any proper talk about it with her. Yes, we usually lock the doors. Yes, I rarely knock. Objectively speaking, yes, she is insanely hot, like she has the ratio to summarize. I don't think I'm gonna go forward with this, and I'm definitely don't wanna get kicked out just because of this. I plan to talk to her tonight after dinner. Update. Dinner went well, I think. My aunt is also normal, so I assume she hasn't talked to her about the incident. We generally just talked about the protest, COVID and stuff, so there aren't anything worth of mention. I did notice throughout dinner the way she looked at me was attentive, like she was looking at me more than usual. I can't confirm really, as I was more focused on the foods because it was so good. Anyway, dinner was done and I planned on going to her room afterwards when she is by herself. I must say I was really nervous at this point. I went there and her door was open and I could see that she was drawing something. Her hobby is drawing, so it is normal. I asked her that I wanted to talk about something. She said sure, while gestured to sit right next to her. For additional context, in her room there is also a couch, a medium-sized one for like 2 people. I sat there and she was still fixated on her thing. Then apologized for what happened while stammering a bit because I was still nervous. When I was done, she stopped drawing and I looked at her face and she was blushing, I guess. I don't know really, but I think there was a bit redness on her face. She just said, "Oh, okay." Dead silence. I guess I must have zoned out because I expected more response from her and I was like, that's it? Really? When I snapped back, I asked her what did she draw this time to shift the topic because the situation was really awkward. It was about herself and proceed to make jokes SFW about it to break the ice. We both laughed for quite some time as I try my damnedest to lighten up the mood. After the mood is back to normal and we were done laughing, I said to her that I have to do something. Now this the part that gets me. She then leans in and gave me a hug, which really surprised me as she has never done it to me before. So I hugged back as I thought it would be rude to leave her hanging. It wasn't a tight hug, I think just a normal hug. When we're done she said, "I knew you'd feel the same," with a big smile on her face. I have no idea what she was referring to as my mind was still surprised. So I blurted out of course I would, in which I then immediately excused myself and we said goodnight to each other. To this point of writing I still can't figure out what we were talking about because there was so much thought in my head that I wasn't really focused on the conversation itself. TBH, I don't think I wanna know what she was talking about. Just hope that was just some random shit and it was enough of an explanation and everything is clear so I can get this over with. Final update, since some people requested an update. I left this morning and as I'm writing this I'm already back at my place. I tried not to think much about what happened as I didn't want to open a chapter in my life with this direction. I also didn't have any more serious talk with her. The only thing of interest is that we spent yesterday watching the entire season of Netflix's The Witcher. I suggested it to her because I'm a huge Witcher fan and she hasn't seen it either and really intrigued in it. We already planned this way before the incident, so there is nothing weird about it. We watched together on this couchish bed thingy, but I was too focused on The Witcher so I barely pay any attention on how she was with me. As I said, I played all this safely because I didn't want to jeopardize my relationship with her. I also blocked all kind of thoughts of her in that direction. Equim. That was it, TBH. You're okay if a saxophone started to play after you saw each other? Some families use the locks and some just expect you to knock anytime the door is closed. So hard to remember to knock if you're from a lock family. Lol, I read the title wrong and thought you walked into her holding your boner and was very confused as to how that happened. What are you doing, Step Coots? Step Kawashi, and I'm stuck. If my experience with online cinema is any indicator, this should have gone very differently. Lay cousins dangereux. Sounds like your cousin was holding your boner from the phasing. That's what I thought also, but then I heard saw English isn't my first language, meaning they're probably not from Alabama. Edit, thanks for the awards, maybe I should make fun of Alabama more.